Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is Word Origin 264. The word origin today is chivalry. Okay, somebody wants a screenshot, do it right now. Let's get right to it. When one says chivalry, it refers to polite and kind behavior which men are expected to do in order to show women respect, or to show respect for women. The second use, of course, is the older use, but the original use, in former times, chivalry was the set of rules that knights were expected to follow, especially those of protecting and being polite and respectful towards women. All right, let's continue. The origin of chivalry dates back to the 10th century in France. At that time, the Christian church was trying to regulate runaway violence in Frankish society, even by knights themselves. So even some knights themselves did not have proper behavior at that time. Chivalry was established as a religious, moral, and social code. Knights could gain a favorable reputation if they followed them and progress their careers. So there was an incentive for them to try to be this way. All right, let's continue. The word itself derives from the French word cheval, for horse, and chevalier, I guess, for knight. Chivalry was also a way of distinguishing upper classes who were expected to follow them from the lower classes. So it made you seem more higher class if you did this. All right, and we got 4 examples to show just how it's used. Here's the first one. In many movies, if a knight in shining armor came to save a damsel, a young woman, probably especially a single young woman, a maiden, in distress, maybe some other guy was attacking her or trying to harm her in some way. A damsel in distress was following a code of chivalry. So you've seen this in the old movies. Some creepy guy was trying to either kidnap or do something to some woman, and the knight in shining armor comes over to defend and protect the young maiden or the young woman. This was following chivalry, of course. Number 2, in our modern times, if a gentleman pulled out a seat for a lady to sit, holding a door open for her to walk through, or any acts of protection, as a code of chivalry. So that was considered code of chivalry in our more modern times. Well, let's look at the third one first. Some say chivalry is dead. Men don't have the same polite and respectful behavior toward women that they used to have over 50 years ago. So basically what kind of happened, I can remember this when I was young, when I was a kid. I still seen it a lot. I still seen some polite men that used to pull out the chair for the lady to sit. It was kind of polite behavior. Or if a woman was coming, they specially held the door open for women. Or if they seen any woman in trouble, they would, quickly kind of volunteer to help them. But it was kind of damaged, it was kind of harmed around the time of the feminist movement. That's what and I've often read on this, that's what they say. And it was usually due to, not all feminists, but a certain type of feminist that was called a militant feminist. That was the ones that, when they used to have their protests, they would protest, they would be burning bras. And there was a lot of cases around that time when the men still tried to act in this, chivalrous way of like pulling a chair out for a woman or holding a door open for a woman. Some of the strong militant feminist women at that time sometimes used to yell at men for doing this. So if the man held the door open for the woman, sometimes he would end up being yelled at. What's the matter with you? Do you think I'm too weak? You think I can't hold the door open for myself? What do you think, you're stronger than me? It was kind of like that. And this actually kind of damaged chivalry. So men, I don't know, over time they didn't do this as much anymore. And, nowadays, hopefully men will still protect their own woman, but you have to question whether they might even protect a strange woman. This is what happened. So that's what actually kind of stimulated this lesson, because one student wanted to know the meaning of chivalry is dead. We sometimes hear this because there was a time 50, 60, 70 years ago where men naturally had more of an instinct that they should do these things. They should try to hold a door open for a woman, pull a chair out for a woman, things like that. And it just kind of disappeared. Once this came into effect, It's became less and less over time, where we don't see this happen anymore. We don't, or not commonly anyway. I don't want to say never, but it's very, very rare that you even see a man pull a chair out for a woman anymore. And they will hold doors open for people, but not necessarily for a woman. They might just do it for anybody sometimes, but before they used to run to do it. So there is a difference. Okay, and number 4 here. I remember an old cartoon of a knight putting his coat on the ground to cover mud so that the woman in a long dress could walk over it. This sort of chivalry exists only in cartoons or romantic literature. Yeah, men will not usually take off their nice clean coat and put it on a muddy ground so the woman could do it. But I always remember that old cartoon. All right, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope you get a better feel and a better understanding of it. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.